Hello YouTube, this is Artsiom, and today we have very interesting conversation with Andrei about interviews and how to handle and what questions we have on interviews. So, hello Andrei, how are you?
Hi Artsiom, everything is okay. I totally prepared to discuss this strange topic, I guess.
Do you have interesting stories?
I'm already about 10 years in IT, and I guess during this whole period I have some stories about the interviews.
From my experience and from what I want, once I have an interview to the company and they ask me very silly questions and very easy one, like we usually ask middle developers, and they make a proposal for me to hire me as a solution architect, so UI solution architect. Of course, I restrict this because so from my point of view, if people are so easy to ready to ask so easy questions, so I'm not sure how they hire other people. And imagine the situation when you need to prepare some demo or prepare some work, and in this situation you will have other people that were hired and that cannot actually make their job, and you need to do this because your position is very high. You're a solution architect, or UI solution architect. This is very interesting.
But nobody will ask you to code, right, when you're a solution architect, mostly in general, because of I don't think that you have time for that. I mean, just for coding, for example.
I understand you.
And sometimes I don't want to say that they want to decline your person, I mean this company, but sometimes I see the situation when, for example, company have a big hiring campaign, hiring campaign, and they want to hire one person and close the position, and they arrange a lot of interviews with a lot of people, but for example they set up 10 interviews and second candidate fully fit their needs, and sometimes they just don't want to talk with another persons because they already hired, but they don't want to lose their face, they set up interview with you but decline it because sorry Artsiom, we already hired Bogdan there. And I think maybe it can be also because of that. Just silly questions, you ask them somehow, and after that, for example, you decline them, or if you want them decline, they just say, we found somebody else.
It's interesting thing, but the problem that I decline when they make the proposal for me. So this is not this way when you think that they just make this just to make just to check that they make this job. So that's why I'm not agree here. And my point here is that in this situation, I try to imagine yourself, I'm going to another company for a higher salary, but there's the risk that as say front-end I'm responsible for a lot of people, and I see how in this company people are hired on such high position, and I believe that if it was so easy for me, and I think it was too easy for me, and I think that other people like middle developers and senior developers would be hired that don't have enough qualification to do their job. And imagine the situation that your task, your work is to make an essay, some diagrams, make some work and so on, but you're responsible for all of these. And when the customer came to you and asked, so where is my code, where is my solution, and you cannot provide it, you cannot do it because the people fail the job and fail what you need to do, and you'll sit all the night and making it instead of have lower salary and go to to dinner with your wife.
Yeah, it can be, but this is very strange because usually in company hierarchy we have kind of technical leads, and sometimes as solution architect, you should provide a solution that involve more than one team, right? And this is very strange that you're afraid that you can face with the situation when all of them are fail and you should complete the all work that they should do. I don't think that it's like, this is kind of terrible. And anyway, I don't think that it's your responsibility. It's not be your fault, I think. So it's strange to afraid something like that.
Whose responsibility if the project is failed, if you have
I know.
a title
Everybody
like a
will be
architect.
punished. Yeah, I know. This happens every time. If somebody failed, everybody is punished. Yeah. Once I had an interview. I mean, like we can postpone all situations when the people want to find some replacement for himself and just want to leave the company, and he's ready to like approve everybody, everyone who know how to speak with the mouse. So yeah, I think we should
prefer it in English.
Leave these situations behind. But once I had an interview for technical leader, and we start from the questions like what is let, const, and var in JavaScript, and and all the questions was like that. And after an hour of this interview, I just asked it like, I thought that this position will be technical lead, and the person told me that, how should I know that you can be technical lead and that you can be responsible, for example, review the code and write the code, if I don't know that you know the JavaScript at all, for example. And I thought, it's interesting. And for these situations, I remember the one thing. Once I was in the bar, in that time when everybody was in the bars, like, I mean, IT guys, and near me was the was the company of people. And as I understand from their speech, there was a DevOps guys, and one of them told that, how can I understand that the person is prepared if we arrange interview less than 8 hours? And I thought, okay, yeah, well, maybe maybe I'm lucky that I'm a front-end developer then.
Actually, a very interesting topic you touch, because I'm also an interviewer, and I'm technical interviewer and interview to the company. Sometimes for lead position, I also ask what is const, let, var, and what's the difference between them. But why I'm doing like this? Because I already several times have an answer that people don't understand what is const.
Because they don't use it.
Yeah, but they want to be a lead developer.
Okay.
So here is the problem. So you're trying to apply to a role where you will have, first of all, a lot of money, compared to others. Second, a lot of responsibilities. Okay. And you would be responsible not only for your work, you would be also responsible for work of other people. So this is what lead developer role is mean. Yep. And in this situation, people don't understand what is const, and also sometimes people are not able just to write a cycle just for cycle.
You know, this very similar to one series that I created a couple of years ago when I started participating in interviews and assessment process. Like, I don't want to say that React is the bad technology, but
okay.
Yeah, but the time that you should spend to start writing in React is quite low. I think you can start to be a React engineer like in a month or something like that. I mean, like in basic level. And
yep.
Because of this technology is so popular, I've seen some people, I call them React developer, because they don't know any other technologies. Like, even if I ask about JavaScript, they say, what is JavaScript? I write in React. And I say, okay. And in this case, all these questions that you can ask, they just will be beaten by, for example, why should I know about the const if I have ESLint in my IDE? And if I need to use const, ESLint will say you should use const here because I use ESLint profile from Airbnb. And you say, no,
Okay.
this is true. Okay.
This is true, but do you understand why you use it and how it will behave?
But they think that it's don't need because they have some, like, I know, for example, you open React documentation, there is a lot of methods. You just pick the method that you need and that's it. Why you should know something else? This is like as a position of some bunch of people.
Actually, I understand with this position, but I understand if it's a middle developer, because so if we need just make a simple site where we don't need a lot of interaction maybe with user, or this site will be, so this site will live for, I don't know, about 6 months. Yep. And after this site would be just deleted from the web and that also. For example, you make some website for dropshipping. Yep. And right now you need to sell something. And this is very popular. You just need to make fast, no problem. So this is one position, yep. But if you're working in a big company and you're making the software that will live for, I don't know, maybe for 10 years. Yep. So for example, right now, software on which we work, it live for a very long time, about 20 years at least. Yep. And we write the full front-end side. So previously it was written with some technologies that is called GSP. So this is like you have a Java on the backend and just concat the strings. So just simple strings that return you HTML, and this is your website. So there is no HTML, there is no CSS, no JavaScript. So just concat of the strings. This was the first implementation of this web application, and we rewrite this to React application. And I understand that in first case about dropshipping, you just need to make a website and you don't care about what is Const at all. But if you wanted to be senior developer, lead developer, to be responsible for something, to make a software that will live for a long time, I don't understand why you don't know these things, basic things, how they work and how to manage them. Because maybe right now you make this job, yep, and in 1, 2, 3 years you will have a bug that you not using something properly.
You know that usually such people don't work for a couple of years in one place. And actually interesting thing that
maybe
that I found during your speech, how to say people that you're old without saying your age. Start talking about GSP in front-end context.
Okay. Okay, I'm not very old. I'm not.
Oh, come on!
I wouldn't talk how old I am, but I'm not very old.
Did you see you strict in
and
your
I'm
life?
very young in my heart.
Okay.
I think we right now can talk about another thing. Yep, this is another way of this coin when the questions are very complicated and overcomplicated. To be honest, I'm trying to remember if I have such questions that were very complicated. Because sometimes I were asked questions that I just don't know or forget about them, like how working garbage collector in JavaScript. And yes, after this interview, I really forget how it works and what is it. Yep, in JavaScript, I just say, come on, there is no garbage collector in JavaScript. Just forget about this, and that's all. Yes, this was a mistake. I understand.
This is that guy who wanted to be architect.
No. On this moment, I was a senior developer, but after the interview, they say that I'm just a middle developer, and they will proceed with other candidates. Yeah, so no problem. I understand that fully. Yeah, yeah, but I don't remember that I have sometimes overcomplicated questions. Maybe you have something like this.
There is like 2 parts of complicated questions from my side during the interviews. The first of them truly related to the coding part, because thank God JavaScript is very old language, which was not planned like modern JavaScript. And there we have a lot of that tricky cases like set timeout in promise. I don't know, in async await, it's all wrapped to some stuff, and inside we have this comparison of types and so on, and they just ask you what will be in the console log, and you say, this is like, if this is a part of your project, I think we should stop this interview because I don't want to work here. Because guys, if you do something like that, okay, maybe you are cool, but this is not for me, because I want to save my mind in somehow healthy state. And the second part, I think this is like all these technologies around of JavaScript and corner cases. Like, for example, I'm mostly familiar with Angular, so there are a lot of tricky questions about like that you not use it in your daily basis. Like, for example, this is like cases from head. You will never see it in your project, maybe 1 or 2%. And usually these guys who are asking this, they can not know the answer. I sometimes do the same during the interview. I just don't know the answer, but I know the question. And the reason why it's asking, it's like just to see the reaction, how the candidate try to find a solution in this situation. And yeah, a lot of cases that related to the JavaScript, but not about the JavaScript. For example, this is a lot of security questions that you just will not know. I can bet that you don't know top 10 of ASP now, and even if you know, you can
no way.
cannot to say about all the ways how to cover all these vulnerabilities in your code, because just like we use frameworks and libraries that already close this hole. That you don't need to know it, but
we both understand that you wouldn't concat SQL strings in your code.
But during the interview, you come to interview and they ask you again and again and again and again how to kill SQL injection, how to work with the strings, and just like this kind of a trigger in your mind, like, why are you asking me about that? We will not work with this, never. Like, this is the last time. If I come to your company, these questions will be graved till the next interview. So why we need this? I have no answer, unfortunately. And this is also relating to the soft skills. For example, soft skills, it's like a rabbit hole. You can dive deeper and deeper based on the answer that candidate provide. And there can be no answer at all. These questions, like, sometimes it happens, just no right answer, and you should just like guessing about how interviewers see this question. This is what about the hard questions. And sometimes, for example, in my past, I had a couple of projects with the very, very strong interview. They ask it all the stuff that they can. Just like it's about even in one company, just when switched the project, I had 2 technical interviews, one from the company side and one from the vendor side. And they both was like hour plus, maybe hour and a half. And there was really a lot of questions, a lot of coding tasks. And I actually, when I passed them, I was happy because I saw that I'm not so bad. Actually, I did it. And when I come to the project, it was like, I'm imagining that I come there and there will be a lot of super mega high professionals, ultra mega code there, and I just worry that maybe I will not be able to write such perfect stuff, because based on the questions, it was like miracle project. And I come there and I see their private static methods in the components. And I say, okay, it was a mask. They perfectly hide it behind them.
Maybe not hide, maybe they already understand that previously they have very bad interviews. They hire not right people on the positions and understand that we need complicated questions to filter people that are not right and finding the best of them to hire. So they will remove these private static methods from the components.
I know that we should not say bad language here, and I will use such replacement like piece of cake and what's the crack instead of like everybody knows.
I understand. Okay.
Why they then don't say me that we have a project which is piece of cake, but we need somebody who should rewrite it in a good way, because we cannot proceed selling this project for the customers, because they also have eyes and sometimes they see what is inside. So why they don't do this? This is the main question, because you know that, okay, you can, for example, fear the candidate and he can leave, but when he come, he can just like work with you a couple of months and say, okay, that's enough. I should move to the another opportunity. And this is pretty same. Well, why they want to lose their time and my time? This is the main question of such interviews.
Maybe they don't understand actually that they have a problem fully. Yep, they understand that they need some better code, but not fully understand that this is totally a mess. Yep, and this is just a spaghetti. This is the only thing that they have. This is a bunch of spaghetti. Yep, and that's all. And at the same time, I actually agree with you that candidate can just be afraid and just run. But at the same time, I have experience working with people that we say to these people from the scratch that this is spaghetti. We need cool developer that will solve all the issues there and will do it by himself. Yep, and it works. Yep, so we find a lot of motivated people that just say, okay, this is very interesting for me and I want to do it.
Actually, yeah, it sometimes happens, like, you know the explanation of masochism, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
of
this
course,
is like quite popular last times. So yeah, and this is what you're talking about. This is like project details, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the vendor or customer or whatever, how we can name it, just share with you the details of the project fully, what your responsibilities, what you should do, what you will face with. So I think this is quite helpful in the interviews. And in general, this is like one of the main markers for me that this is like trusted project. But this is quite like not so often people use such strategy during the interview.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, and how you handle the interview? So do you have such experience?
Yeah, usually we talk about the weak parts of project and the stake of technologies and about what they should do. And usually I trying to create the questions based on the project ecosystem, just to like have a perfect fit with candidate.
Mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm.
sometimes it's not help, because like, you know, when your back is in fire and when you should deliver as fast as possible, sometimes you see not the reality, but you see what you want to see. So it happened with me once. We needed a developer to the project, mm-hmm. and there was a lot of actually complicated technologies, but this person answered like perfectly. We just didn't have like a practical part. We just had questions about the theory, and he answered it in a well way. I think even better than I can ask these questions. And yeah, and we was so happy on the project. We saw that he will come to us and just like break everything and create something brilliant from the ruins. And he came to the project, and yeah, and there was a task to create a form to submit to data to the server, and he spent like 4 weeks for that and didn't complete. And I just like, what the crack with your why, how, like you know, it just break my mind. Like somebody can answer such perfect and work such bad.
Yeah, but Andrei, you asked only technical questions like, I don't know, what is a component, what is props, what is
yeah, we needed a middle. We need the middle, so yeah, I just, that time. But in general, yeah, I also asking and soft skill questions during, for example, assessment. And yeah, I like the questions without an answer, because I just want to see how the person behave himself in the situation that he don't know. And yeah, sometimes it brings the value, because people start thinking.
Yeah. This is very complicated, and I believe that this is a separate skill. Maybe next time, Andrei, we will make a kind of rules, how to handle interview and show yourself best. What do you think about it?
Easy peasy.
Don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and check social media links in the description below, so you will know about upcoming events here in Poland and can participate as a participant or maybe as a speaker.